What's up? Dave Savage here, and I am with Jeremy Forcier. What's up, Jeremy?
What's happening, Mr. Savage?
I really appreciate you taking some time to help with this mortgage coach demo. What I'm trying to do is demo our product and an overview of what mortgage coach is in a way that's compelling, but I also want people to know what you do and how you use it. So like, okay, mortgage coach is like this gym and it has all these things, but what does Jeremy Forcier use? You cool with that, bro?
Absolutely.
So for anyone who doesn't know who Jeremy is, last year he did 130 million, helped 299 families. And this year his goal is 300 families served in Petaluma, California, or within an hour of Petaluma, California. Is that fair?
Yep, fair enough.
And we are recording this in the last week of April of 2020, right in the middle of COVID quarantine. How many loans do you think you're going to do this month, Jeremy?
Well, originally it looked like I might have done like 74, but I think I'll end up closer to 60.
Not too bad. How many folks would love to close 60 loans? Jeremy, you have a team of how many people on your team?
So I'm the only producer on my personal team, and then I have 3 other people total that support me.
That support you, and then you also a regional leader, and you've got a number of branches that are. That's a whole separate side of your business, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into why do you use Mortgage Coach? Like, what's your why?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, I couldn't imagine not using it. So it's the easiest way to communicate information to people that they can digest. See, I think it's easy to give people information or to tell people things, but the digestion of information can be very complicated and personal on how someone learns or how they absorb info. So I use it because it is, number one, selfishly, it saves me a bunch of time. Number two is that it's easy for people to absorb the information. They can see it, they can hear it, they can print it if they want. So you have PDFs, you have video, you have interactive live that you can do with people. So that you have a lot of different mediums that they can absorb the information. And then ultimately, it just leads to a better discussion about advice. You're going to get better questions asked. I get better questions asked when I use the Mortgage Coach total cost analysis. The 1 in 100 times that I don't use it, I always get frustrated borrowers. They don't understand, or they just couldn't absorb all the information that I just said while I was driving my car, for example.
Right.
So it's just the best presentation and education platform out there. So I use it every single time, 99.9% of the time. And whenever I don't use it, I totally regret it.
So I want to just hear how you answer this question. I have my feeling on what problems it solves for you because I've interviewed you so many times. But when you think of the problems it solves, what comes to mind? What are some bullet points on problems that Mortgage Coach is solving for you?
Number one, speed. Number two, showing value to the customer, meaning literally showing them solutions to their goals. And I don't want to just skip that because I think that's where we get confused, is to really showing them exactly what it's going to do for them, how much they're going to save in interest over the life of the loan, or over 5 years, or over 2 years, or over 18 years. It really shows them the true benefit and value of the refinance or purchase suggestion that you may be making. Number three is that it allows me to not sell. We don't have to sell anything when you educate extremely clearly to people and they know exactly what their options are. Then they become, the expert or the hero for themselves, rather than you having to sell as if you're the hero and you're saving the day. So it really empowers people, and I think empowerment is something that our industry suffers, a lot in our industry, is that we feel like we need to be the authority rather than empowering the consumer, the realtor, et cetera, to be the authority with great information.
Yeah, and do you think it solves the problem of reducing rate shopping, or when you do get rate shopped, it gives you a tool to have a better conversation and save the deal?
100%. Like, the reason that didn't even come to mind is because that's how much I think about it. I rarely ever even think about the rate shopping conversation. What it does is allows them to shop what you're presenting and to see what the benefits are with the different scenarios. I certainly think that I get shopped far less because of using Mortgage Coach every single time. And I think that it empowers people to not feel like like they're something being held back. The level of transparency in using the software creates trust with people on the other side so that they feel good about using you or using me. And that's really what we're going for here, is people feeling good about an experience of working with you.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to show a little show and tell demo, and then I'm going to hand it to Jeremy. He's going to show you in a minute how to create one of these total cost analysis. So I have a couple of his TCAs on my desktop. This particular one, I think this is the one you sent me the other day where you had to tell a client that, hey, jumbo loans have been suspended. You had some really cool scripting around that in this 2-minute video. And you said, but you know what? I got you an even better deal because we're going to be doing a piggyback of a first and second. So from a product standpoint, guys, it's got Jeremy's logo. It's got his picture from a personal branding standpoint. It's got a video so that he can communicate more effectively with the client. It's got this little menu up here. It can be translated into Spanish. It can be printed up. It can be shared. And of course, you can also, well, if I can click on it, you can change the view. So Jeremy, when you're talking to a client, which view do you usually prefer? This horizontal one or the other one?
I use the horizontal view.
Okay, so this is the view Jeremy uses when he presents mortgage options to a family. Notice that you can click on this and see more information. When Jeremy does a refi, he's going to show you how he uses this field strategically. You can get detailed in closing costs, or you can keep the closing costs at a high level. And then another thing from a demo perspective, the science of advice is it's not advice if, one, there's not options, and two, you're not showing it over different windows of cost of time. So this is where you really start making every other loan officer look like the villain. They're not showing the cost of loan over time, and they're not showing options over time. Jeremy, anything you want to call out on this from a features and function standpoint?
No, I would say that I tend to keep things really, really simple. So what you see highlighted is typically what I highlight. I highlight the property value, the loan amount, and I'm sorry, I'm looking this way because this is the screen that it's on. You know, the blended rate or the interest rate, as well as the payment and then the monthly savings. So those are the things that I typically will highlight. And as far as like reinvestment strategy or the more info button, you can see right above the summary area, when you click on that blue more info button, this is where I'm really using, you see there's not a lot highlighted. This is where I'm getting on the phone with people after I've sent them this link with this video, and we're answering questions, and I have them pull up their link and I'm walking them through it, and I'm highlighting things and changing things while we're talking so they can really see that, no, all the information is there. Like I get a question oftentimes, Dave, like, so does this include my taxes and insurance? Yeah, absolutely. Let's click on the more info button and I'm going to highlight it for you. Hey, so what is the exact closing cost? Yeah, no, it's totally in there as well. It's built into the loan amount. But if you click on the closing cost tab, I can walk you through it and explain what APR, non-APR are, and I'm going to highlight that for you. So a question that I get a lot, Dave, is, well, why wouldn't you just do that in your video initially, right? And I will tell you that there is a science behind it for me. For doing it, I've done this like 3,500 plus times.
You've done it over 5,000 times, bro.
I've done over 5,000?
You've done over 5,000 total cost analysis.
Hey, I've done over 5,000 total. So I've done over 5,000 times. Didn't know that. Woo, right on. So the reason why I don't make a 5 or 10-minute video literally going through every single crazy nuanced detail on here is that it's information overload. And you want them to ask you questions. So I'm not using this to not talk to borrowers. That's a big misconception. I'm using this so that I can educate them enough to ask me the right questions. That's where the transfer of trust goes, and then I can walk them through the granular details of things.
Love that. So let's do this. Let's have you pull up Mortgage Coach on your screen.
Okay.
And let's go through what it looks like to create it. So just now I gave you a really quick overview on the consumer experience. What would the family see? And
Sure.
what are some strategic components? It can add a video. You'll notice live, we call that Mortgage Coach Live. So whatever you click on your desktop as a loan officer, it changes for the family and it highlights for the family. It's all about giving clarity. The most successful loan officers are the most effective and efficient at giving a family clarity so that a family says yes. So a family makes the offer that they need to get the house so that they make the refi decision quickly and effectively. So I'll let you know when I see your screen. And when you forward this to a client, do you call it a total cost analysis or what is your pre-framing? How do you frame it to a client?
Yeah. So what I call it on the phone, I tell them I'm going to send them a total cost analysis. In the email template that I use, basically the subject line says mortgage plan dash, please watch the video link. So in my subject line, I'm telling them an action to do, right? Like, hey, please see the video link. That way they know that there's a video in there.
Right.
When I used to not do that, people would call me and ask me all these questions, and I'd say, well, hey, did you have a chance to watch the video? And they're like, what video? Because they would just open the PDF, okay? Because I also attach a PDF for maybe some people that, whatever, don't know how to click on a link, which is few and far between these days. So making sure there's a call to action in the subject line, and then I just call it a mortgage plan, right? Hey, please see below for some mortgage options based on a $600,000 purchase with 20% down. Please let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to serving you. I keep it really, really, really simple. I've seen some really cool stuff, quite frankly, in the mortgage coach community that I'm going to implement and get better at, where maybe naming them specifically. I'm just putting the link in directly into my email, but I have seen some really, really cool stuff with like naming it the Savage Mortgage Plan or paying off your house in 21 years instead of 30. Like you can name the links, and I think that's a really cool strategy that I have to get better at for sure.
Well, you're doing a lot of them. So before you click and start creating it, click on settings really quick in the Mortgage Coach Advice Engine, upper right-hand corner, settings. So guys, I want you guys to make note, this is the new gamification of Mortgage Coach. So we're gonna teach you and train you how to kill it. You can see that Jeremy has created 5,941 TCAs, and they've been reviewed and looked at by families almost 20,000 times, guys.
Wow.
So if you're giving fee worksheets, that's what people are looking at. And by the way, every member of the family is not looking at it. With a total cost analysis, it makes your advice more shareable. Jeremy, where it says TCA created and it has that little note to the right, like right where it says TCA created and it has a little box with an arrow. No, you were right there, that little box right there. Click on that real quick. I just want you guys to see there is a roadmap. Like you start with Mortgage Coach, we'll teach you how to be a yellow belt. And when you hit yellow belt, orange belt, blue belt, purple belt. So we're gonna teach you and we're going to recognize you as you go through the program. So if you could close that out real quick, Jeremy. One last demo thing. For all you managers, there's an onboarding badge so that we know, does it have a headshot? If you see on the upper right-hand corner. So all you need to do is sign up for Mortgage Coach. You can either click on the link down below or go to our website, click buy now. And then we're gonna walk you through onboarding. And then we're gonna give you the breadcrumbs you need to become an orange belt. So Jeremy, why don't you show us how you create a TCA now?
You got it. So first thing I do is you start in the client screen and I click on new client. So this is a scenario that I'm going to do. I'm going to copy and paste this person's name. Now there is all kinds of really cool integrations that lots of different people have. I'm just going to show you like the down and dirty way to do it, and it's really easy to do regardless of what your company settings are. So I personally just always presentation name, I just put the month and the year. I do that just for search feature purposes. When I'm looking at it, it just makes it easy for me personally. This individual is looking to purchase a house. So I'm just gonna go to goals and click purchase a home. Under product, I'm gonna go right to product. And once again, I'm showing you the down and dirty version of how fast you can create these, okay? So this is gonna be a 600K purchase. And I don't know what the interest rate is because I need to price it out. So this is where I come into my LOS And I have this all loaded up already, and I'm just going to hit submit and see what it looks like today based on their scenario. So I'm going to get some pricing to pull up. This is the longest part of it, by the way. I'm going to hit best investor pricing, and we'll take a look here. All right, so then I look at my pricing, and I'm basically just looking to show them different options of where things are priced currently in the market. So I might show them, for example, a 3% interest rate with 2 points. I will show them a 3.25% rate with 0.737 with this particular scenario. And then I will show them a 3.375% rate. Now, another strategy and things that I do often with people that aren't in contract yet is that I will find the closest to par rate, right, like 3.375, and I will go up 0.25% in rate and down 0.25% in rate at the same fee. The reason being is because they're not in contract yet. And I don't know what rates are going to do, but giving them that rate range and educating them is really, really important in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to do here with this particular scenario because they are not in contract yet. So I'm just going to title the first one 3.125%.
Hey, real quick, Jeremy, just one pause. If you are with a company that has Optimal Blue, who is an enterprise client of ours, there is an integration so that literally you could have gone from pricing the loan, click the loans that you wanted to do, and just click create mortgage coach. And everything that Jeremy's done has already been done. But if you're a broker or an individual loan officer and you're signing up, this will be the process that you follow. Keep going, brother.
Yep. So then I'm just going to put 600,000 in, 20% down. It automatically calculates here what the loan amount is going to be. 3.125% interest rate, 360 months because it's a 30-year fix. Nice. Go to the next one. APR fees. Those are just my underwriting processing. They're $15.95. I need to look and see if they want impounds, and they do. So if they want impounds, I know that they're going to collect about 5 months, which is $3,000, plus about another $1,000 for insurance on the prepaid. So I would enter 4,000 here. Okay. Now non-APR cost, that's just title, escrow, and appraisal. So I use just ortc.com, and I go to the fee navigator. I hit sale. I put in the price. I drop down what county it's in. I put in the loan amount. I hit submit, and I have all my fees. Okay, so 1,500 plus 2,000 is 3,500 minus 150 is 3,350 plus 700 is 4,050 plus an appraisal for 600 is 4,650. Now, I know I just did a lot of math quickly, but it is correct. So I just put 4,650 there in the APR costs. Once again, you can create templates and create even more detail by hitting this closing cost detail screen. I tend to keep mine pretty generic because I want the questions of what is non-APR, what is APR, and there's a reason why I do that personally. Not a right or wrong way to do it though. Hazard insurance is just going to be an estimate, of course, about $90 a month where I live. Taxes is 1.25%, and now I've created the first program. Now, to create the next one, to show them options, I hit add another product. And this would just be 600K at 3.375%. And then I copy from the last product I just did. All the info's in there. I hit 3.375 because that's the rate that I'm going to show. And then I just go to the next one and I click add another product. 600K, 3.625%. Okay, so I'm showing them 0.25% lower than what the current rate is and 0.25% higher than what the current rate is because it is a TBD. Okay, this is a to be determined property. I want to show them how a 0.25% movement in interest rate will affect the monthly payments. So at this point, I'm done. This is for a pre-approval. I just simply click on presentation, has the ones checked that I want, and then I simply click on preview, generate share link, and then add an audio video. Now it's not going to allow me to add a video because I'm on a Zoom right now. So I could add an audio if you want me to, Dave, or I could skip this part.
Just click on it real quick. I want them, don't click next, like right, you'll see the little field come up where it can say audio or video. I just want people to see that there are multiple places where you could don't click it. You could add audio. You could add it from your mobile phone. So if he clicked mobile phone, it'd pop up on his mobile phone,
Yep.
or he could click web browser. So I'm going to take it back from you real quick.
Great.
And show a few other things on my side, and then we'll come back to this. But guys, how long did that take you, Jeremy? What's your guess on how long that took?
Maybe 4 minutes, something like that.
And you've done over 72 of these. So one of the sales objections we get is, oh, I'm too busy. Like I'm too busy. And a lot of loan officers that say that are doing less than 10 loans a month. What do you say to a loan officer that says, I'm too busy to do a TCA?
Well, first of all, it's just not true. You need to reevaluate what you're busy doing. Like, I would much rather be busy creating a professional presentation that someone is going to get and receive and digest and speed up the decision-making process. Oh, by the way, that they can share with other people too. I think that that's a much better use of your time rather than going back and forth with someone over the phone, re-explaining, not communicating clearly, having someone write it down on a napkin, showing their spouse. So you don't have the luxury of not doing this, in my opinion. You absolutely should be a best practice every single time.
Yeah, or you're just not optimizing your efficiency. So what you're seeing now is you're seeing what it looks like on a mobile phone. So a minute ago, I showed you a TCA what it looked like on a desktop. And if someone clicked on it from an Android, it'd look one way, iPhone another way, iPad another way. So again, all the permissions that you have, everything that you want and need. So Jeremy, that brings up Rate Watch. This is another app that we have called Rate Watch. Do you use this app?
I use it every single day.
And how do you use it? And which screen do you use most often? I hear a lot of people use the day watch the most.
Yep. So for me, it depends on what device I'm using it from. On my mobile device, I tend to use the day watch the most, as well as the 30-day view. So the home screen. Those are probably the two that I use the most within the app. I've signed up for all of the notifications as well, meaning that I get text alerts, etc. whenever the market's moving, or even if it's not moving. At every 2 hours, I have it set up to get a text message as to what's happening in the market, whether it's a negative reprice or maybe a potential positive reprice. Every 2 hours, I get a quick text so I can just view at a glance, hey, it looks like the market's improving, right? Or hey, it looks like the market is giving up some ground. So those are the views that I use now in the app on my computer or using it in the browser. I typically use just the home screen, and then I will play with the different time frames that are available, as far as a month max, 3 months back, so that I can really show how things move in a dramatic way and create snippets to send to my borrowers. If I'm in the mobile app, you can just simply click a button and hit, copy to clipboard or send it. There you go, SMS, email, and it will just literally pull it up on it. So copy to clipboard is great, just because if you want to text someone, even though you can click the text thing there, I like the copy to clipboard so I can create a message first, paste the thing underneath it so they see what I'm saying first rather than the graphic first. So those are just some little tips and tricks of how I use Rate Watch on a daily basis. Dave? I think we're frozen, man. Let it go. Let it snow. We're frozen in the zone. I don't know if I'm on. Can Facebook see me now? Let it go. Let it go. Hi, guys. Are we still recording? Let's see. Let me look it up on Facebook. All right, I'm getting a text here. All right, looks like I still am on. All right. So I'm going to keep sharing with you guys. So let me finish this little deal here. So what I would do is just record a video usually right here, and then I would send it out to my client, okay? So now that I showed you how to create that, I'm using that for to be determined addresses, giving them a rate range, etc., which is the best education because you can talk about how rates move all the time. Then I'm going to now show you how to create one for a client. So I have a client who needs one today, and I have their scenario here. So this client is Daniel Gomez. Okay, so I'm going to make one for Daniel Gomez. This is going to be a refinance. I'm going to show you how I'm going to show value here. Okay, so his goal is to lower his interest rate. All right. Assumptions. Whenever it's a refinance, if I have the data, I try to fill all of this out. So I know that his house is worth about $500,000. Okay. I also know, because I have all the data, that he originally got this loan in 01, okay, 01, 2017. Cool. His original loan amount on this was $410,000. Excellent. Interest rate, okay, current interest rate is 4.375%, and it's a 30-year fixed, okay? So this was his original loan that he's got. As you can see, it automatically calculates the remaining balance, and I always verify that against the credit report just to make sure it's correct. So his current balance is $386,263, okay? I always click the auto update balance. That way, if I'm doing this in the future or he wants new numbers, he waits 2 months, whatever it may be, it'll auto update this balance for me to update the total cost analysis. Okay. I also know that he does not pay taxes or insurance monthly. So I will not enter in any of that information here. If he did pay taxes and insurance monthly, I would enter it in. Remember, this is for his current loan. Okay. Now, under product one, I'm going to skip affordability. And I'm just going to go to product one. So I have this all priced out already. He wants to look at 30-year fixed, okay? 30-year, the first one that I'm going to show him is 3.375%, okay? And I'm going to click, is this a refi? Yes. That's going to pull out all of the information over. So the loan amount's already in there now. The appraised value's in there. I enter in my interest rate. I enter in 360, and I'm going to go to the next page. Now I put in my closing cost. This is a 0-point loan with his particular profile. So $1,595, those are my underwriting and processing fees, non-APR cost. Now there's an appraisal waiver on this one. So I already know I could just go into here and do the fees, but I know what they're going to be already, okay? It's going to be $1,100, right, for title and escrow on this because it's a refinance. It's fixed cost and there's no appraisal. So I would just put in here, okay, $1,150. Right, those are going to be his costs. Now I'm going to add these to the loan amount by clicking this button here. All right, now I'm going to go to the next page. Now I could be done right now and it could show what the benefit is here, but I'm going to add one more column to show him what the real power is, okay, in keeping this loan longer term. And if he wanted to pay it down faster, what that would look like. So here I would put pay down, okay, in my subject. I'm going to copy this from the other one I just created. It's going to pull over all that same exact data, right? So from here, I'm going to just go through and get to the analysis portion. Now, this is where you can play with what type of time frames you want to show. Okay, so in my conversation with Daniel, he said, listen, we're going to stay here, for the unforeseeable future. So you could put, short-term analysis at 60 months. I'm going to put it at 360 just to prove a point to him on how much he can save over time, okay? So I'm going to show him, even under the short term, and there's a reason why, what the life of the loan savings is. Now, I'm also going to add a reinvestment strategy on this. So when I click this button, okay, it's going to pull up his current loan. He's not going to save any dollars per month compared to the other options. In the second column, I show him that, hey, he's saving $327.28 per month, okay, in mortgage payments. Now in this one, you can see it's the same, but I'm going to add that number right here, okay? So I'm going to show him if he prepays, or he makes the same payment, I should say, that he is right now, with a new lower rate on a 30-year fixed, how much faster he's going to pay down his loan and how much he will save ultimately over the life of the loan, okay? So I'm going to click out of there. Now I'm just going to go to the presentation. I want to make sure that his current mortgage shows next to these other two options. and I'm going to click preview. Now, when I click generate share link, I'm going to click add audio video.
And Jeremy, whether you record the video or this time, let's just give people a feel for what that would sound like so they get a feel for what it took to create it and now you're communicating to a client.
You got it. So I'm just going to click in web browser, okay? It's not, see, it said it could not access a recording device.
Because we're on Zoom, guys.
I'm on Zoom.
Let's pretend you're recording it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to highlight, first of all, the same items I talked about earlier. I'm also in this one going to highlight this. And I'm also going to highlight the savings over 360 months. That's over the life of the loan. And I'm going to highlight his freedom point. Okay. So the freedom point is where he would pay off his loan if he kept his current loan or if he were to refinance. And this is what it would sound like. I'm going to hit record. Hey, Daniel, it's Jeremy Forcier with Cross Country Mortgage. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat last week. I have great news. I put together this mortgage presentation for you to show you what your benefits are in refinancing right now, and the numbers came out great. So in the first column is your current loan that you have right now. You currently have a balance of $386,263. You have a 4.375% interest rate, and your mortgage payments are $2,047.07 per month. Now in the second column, I showed you we can refinance right now at 3.375% with no points charged to you, a payment of $17.1979 on a monthly basis, which saves you $327.28 compared to what you're paying right now in cash flow. Now, the third column that I created for you was to show you what the real power is with that savings. Because the reality is you could certainly save $327 a month and just have an extra $327, or you could take that money and pay your old mortgage payment with this new lower rate. And let me show you what that does. So in the third column, I have pay down. I'm showing you that if you make your old mortgage payment, okay, it's the same, but with the new lower interest rate, that you're going to save $97,792 over the life of your loan. I also showed you here under this freedom point line that you're currently set to pay off your house in 26.67 years. If you go to the third column, you see that if you make the same payment you are right now, you're going to pay off your house almost 4 full years faster without having to pay more than you are right now. So there's a huge benefit there, increasing your wealth, paying principal down much faster, canceling out interest. Not a right or wrong way to do it, but let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to serving you. Have a great day.
Love it, guys. So for 5 minutes, Jeremy has not only shown the full net tangible benefits of the refi in a way that's very compelling for the client, and he was able to put a video on it so that whoever he's talking to hears it. They get to hear it repeated. They get to share it with a husband and wife. If there's a financial advisor, everybody's in the loop. So Jeremy, anything else for like that holdout loan officer? It's like, oh, I just don't have time, or my clients don't need all this information. This is just too much. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, it just give them a gift. Like, be generous and give them a gift of your time to invest in this. There was a time where I didn't know how to do this either, of course, but it really doesn't take very long to learn. So invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, you can give gifts to other people and invest in them. Ultimately, you will close more loans, you will give less concessions, you will be more profitable, and you will get more referrals. So if you're looking for those 4 things, don't hold out. Learn how to use the software. They have a great support team at Mortgage Coach, and it's absolutely changed the dynamic of my business.
So go back to the advice engine real quick. I just want to finish demoing a couple other features, and I have just a couple minutes. So you'll notice in the right-hand column, he could have clicked on record right there. So on every screen underneath that video, you can record. He could go into live. So by clicking on that, he's going into that live experience. Could you scroll down a little bit more? I want to show a few more features. We just added the optimal blue mortgage market index. So these are what rates are actually getting locked at. And if you click on the credit to loan to value, how many times have you had someone who has credit issues that's like, well, I saw this rate. Well, those are rates that are advertised. These are the rates that are getting locked in. So we're giving you all this insight. And then you'll notice that there's videos built into this. So not only did we create gamification, it's a learning management system. So that like Jeremy, he's created 5,000 TCAs. We're not going to show him the basics. We're going to show him the ongoing updated content we had. But if you're a white belt who wants to become an orange belt, we're going to give you videos on how to create your first TCA, how to read a TCA, and check that out. Jeremy, anything else you just want to strategically call out that you think is important? Because you're a manager. I mean, you're a coach for the core. Is there, you lead and mentor loan officers all the time. Anything else you want to call out as far as the product goes?
It's a no-brainer. You're losing money if you don't use it. I mean, you literally are. So sign up today if you're not a member. Feel free to post comments, ask questions in this post. I'm happy to answer them. I'm very, very active in the mortgage coach community. It's the only one I really dive into and really, try to help as much as I can. So I would say just don't waste time. Don't procrastinate on your success.
So Jeremy, I want to show one more thing before we wrap up this demo. I'm going to show my screen. I want to know whether you use this feature or not. Let me share my screen. So right now you're looking at the mortgage coach on a mobile device. And so you can log in to the client. Do you use this app very often where you can log into the client and you can either edit or update it, or you could actually add a video from the mobile phone? Is this a feature you use very often?
I use it all the time. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sitting in front of my computer 100% of the time every day. So this is excellent for editing. I create them on the weekends on the fly if I have to, if someone's writing an offer, etc. Super, super easy to use. And I use it all the time. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you see this one right here is called strategy templates. You could have like Jeremy's refi template like he just did, and you could just call that my early payoff refi template. And you could just click that and literally create a TCA within a matter of seconds. So Jeremy, let's close out. Like, I know there's a lot of people talking about rates could go to 2% this year. And I always tell people, yes, mortgage coach is a sales advantage that will help you convert, will help you reduce price exceptions. But I think the time savings everybody misses. And the advice I'm giving is that if rates are going to go to 2%, you want every single potential client you have having a TCA, so that when that happens, it's just as simple as I updated your total cost analysis, click, which gives strategic advice to anyone watching this and the value mortgage coach could have as we enter a potential refi tidal wave.
Yeah, it's either you prepare or you backpedal. So really what you're talking about is just being prepared for a gigantic opportunity that's going to happen. And also, I mean, we're already in one right now, you guys. Like the opportunity is already here. So number one, I'd say don't wait for rates to go to that. Show people what they can save right now. If they think it's going to go to 2.5, show them that, hey, if it does go to 2.5, here you go. Then show a different strategy. Hey, you should take 3.5% right now and not pay any closing costs or pay minimal closing costs. And then if you profit for free, always take a profit whenever there's a profit. If you can save money now, if it costs you very, very, very little, take it. And then it's a hedge against the future that if it does go down more, you'll be prepared. Here's the difference of the two payments side by side. So being prepared is extremely important. Having a platform like this where you can plug your client's info in and that you can update it and copy it. And it takes, my favorite is people that come back, Dave, because they're in the system already. I hit, add new for Daniel Gomez, or copy old, file, create new client. It takes literally 30 seconds to update it. So be prepared. There's a huge opportunity and you don't want to miss it.
So let's summarize the results. It saves you time. How much time do you think it saves you per client?
Oh, an hour per client.
Okay. So let's just say it's half of that, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
How much does it improve your conversion?
Oh, well, since I use it all the time, it's hard to say, but I'd say at least 33%.
Okay, so 33%. How much does it improve your, price exceptions or your branch profitability as a result of giving a TCA to every family?
100%. I mean, no doubt. Yeah.
How do you rate? You don't need to give specific P&L numbers, but like, how do you rate compared to your peers in terms of price exceptions and profitability?
Yeah. So number one, or is it either number one or number two in the company?
Wow.
So
and a lot of loan officers in your company.
I think 3,000 or 2,000 or something like that. I don't know a lot though.
So it improves your profitability.
Yeah.
And then what about with referral partners and realtors? Do they like it, and do you get more referrals as a result of your ability to deliver this next level presentation?
Always. They absolutely love it. They're kept in the loop. I honor them in the videos. They absolutely love it. They don't have any questions about what they're approved for. If someone says they didn't get loan numbers from me, they were on the email as well. They forward the email to other people, other realtors. I mean, it's really, really spot on as far as the conversion tool for partners and new partners as well.
Cool. So guys, I'm going to show my screen, and there's really three simple steps. You go to our website, and up in the upper right-hand corner, you click Lender Services, new member sign up, and literally within a minute, you could sign up for Mortgage Coach. And then you will have your login immediately. And then you just log in. You'll be a white belt, and we'll teach you how to create a Mortgage Coach report. You will be a white belt. We'll teach you how to be an orange belt. All the videos you need will be right inside the product. So Jeremy, thank you so much, brother, for taking, a half hour, a little more than a half hour to give all this value. We look forward to having you on the Mortgage Coach team, and be sure to connect with us at Mortgage Coach. Take care, everybody.